This is Toy Spell, and here we've got another Monkey King figure. This one was sent over by a member of the company, Driver Studio. He contacted me through Instagram just to get my impression and my thoughts on this figure. So let's take a closer look at it. The box on the front here has some gold writing on it. I'll be honest, I don't know what it says. I can't read that, but maybe I'll contact the company and figure that out. The side of the box has nothing, and the back of the box is pretty plain beside the two names on the back here. And then this side of the box is pretty plain as well. Now, I was told this is pretty close to what the final piece is going to look like, so this very well could be a production piece or like prototype or something. But I was told it was really close to what it's going to end up looking like, so maybe if this does come out in the US or anything, there'd be more information on it. And then the box does have a flap here held together by Velcro. The inside of the box is the Monkey King, and it says after the journey to the west, or if after the journey to the west. Maybe I can find out what that writing is as well. We'll see. But then you have this up here. I assume that's the same company names that were on the back. And there is the Monkey King. Let's get him out of the package and get a closer look. Immediately out of the package, he comes with two trays. We'll figure out what both of these trays are. Obviously, this tray has hands, a gourd, his face, and the figure. And this tray could very well be a stand, but let's open it up and find out. Oh, look at that. We've got Jingu Bane, Rui Jingu Bane. We've got some kind of tassel. Oh, this is his feather, his phoenix feather cap. That's super cool. We've got a big old cape here, blue scarf, and then a mirror. This could be, I think that's a mirror. This could be the mirror that the one god uses to see the true original forms. Very cool. And here it is with the protective case missing from it. Yep, there goes a hand. We've got a couple hands here, and let's take him out. Looks like these are attached to him, and they are wired. And there he goes, a couple of his hands probably as well. But yeah, all right, let's get a closer look. And here he is out of the packaging. This is, I think this is definitely wired. Yep, that's wired. So that wraps around his back. He's got his little scarf here. And he's got a lot of gold armor with his yellow soft goods. He is looking pretty swell. Look at all the detailing right there. It really, really reflects in the lighting. That is so nice. And then he's got these little straps here. They look like they're leather, but they are definitely part of the plastic or the soft rubber. He has so many layers of soft goods on him. This is incredible. So he's got this here, and then he's got this plastic skirt here. And then you have this cloth good here, which has a wire in it. And then he's got his red pants here. It feels like he has fur sculpted underneath those pants. And then he's got super nice boots. Let's get close-ups of all of these details. Look at that head sculpt. That is a super nice head sculpt. It, like, if you tilt it down, he looks angry. If you tilt it sideways, he's a little sassy there. He's got a nice look to him. He's got, are those pointed ears? Or at least the fur makes them look pointed. And then look at all the details on his chest armor there. Wow, that's a lot of really nice detailing on this figure. He's got some nice head sculpt on his shoulder. His back is looking good. What's this, under here? He's got a lotus flower on his belt underneath that scarf. He's got red paint there. A lot of attention to detail on that. Look at the red paint on his back. Even the boots are painted black here, or back here, with the red and the gold and the blue. It doesn't look like anything was missed in the painting. This is a pretty incredible looking figure. It's got a lot of really nice detailing on it. I really like the design. That's a common design you're going to see in Wukong pieces. That's the armor of the time, or at least a very popular armor for the Chinese ancient armor. But yeah, it's looking pretty cool. I'm really liking the details. You can even see his gauntlets themselves have a lot of detail. Look how small that gauntlet is compared to my finger. This is a 6-inch figure, or at least 6-inch scale. But yeah, that looks really nice. Oh my gosh, look at the clasp up there. What's his collar look like? Let me see if I can move this out of... What? That is so good. Very nice details on them. Every time I move them, I see another detail I really like. Like right here, this little face or this head down here. This is super cool. And then check out the paint on his head. He's got like dark wash and dry brushing on him. It looks really nice. Wow. I mean, it's a silly thing to say, but even his fingernails are painted. Before I really start messing with him and playing with him, let's check out the accessories real quick so that I feel free to mess around. We got open hands for each hand, slightly open or like palm hands. This is a position you'll notice in Black Myth Wukong. Wukong holds his hands like this a lot. We get a pointing finger for each hand, which is really nice because most companies I feel like only give you one pointing finger, but this time you can point with either hand. A gripping hand for his staff. It looks like some of the paint did get clogged up in between the fingers here. It's a little extra pink. And then we have a fist hand for each hand. We also have this gorgeous gourd. I don't know where you're supposed to put that or if it's just like an extra diorama piece. But this is super nice looking. Can I get it any closer? Yeah, check that out. And here is an extra head. Maybe he's like slightly angrier in this head. I don't know. I don't know if there's a significant enough difference for me to choose one head over the other. At this point, I would just consider it a spare head for my other action figures. Jingu Bane here is really nice. A lot of good detail. It's got the Jingu Bane, the As You Will cudgel or whatever that may say. And then close up on here, it's got a lot of nice details on either end of the staff. I don't know what this accessory is, and you know I'll be contacting them to find out, but this is super cool. I really like the dragon on it. I like the yin yang. I assume this isn't supposed to be painted, so maybe it's not supposed to be mirror, because it'd be weird that they didn't paint that, but they painted every little detail on the Monkey King himself. They included this blue sash, which is very long, very wired. That's going to be really nice to detail with him. You can have it hanging off him or whatever. He's going to look really regal with all of these soft goods. Speaking of which is one of these soft goods, a ginormous cape. This thing is massive. This is so big. It's wired on the sides, but like there's so much cape. I don't know if the wire is going to be able to hold it. That is a massive cape. Finally is the Phoenix Feather cap, which I thought maybe one of the head sculpts has a hole in the top to put this in, but they don't. So you've got the Phoenix Feather cap here, and then you've got these tassels that you're supposed to probably tie around the head to make it stay better. I don't know if this is wired or not. It looks like this is kind of wired, so you can pose this around. Yeah, get a little bend to it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. The details on it are also pretty nice. A lot of small details on there and a lot of nice textures in the Phoenix feathers themselves. I don't know about tying this to his head. I don't have confidence I can get it to stay, but we'll see. All right, I'm going to have my fun with the action figure now and play around with it, see how it is, and then we'll get back to it, get to the posing and whatnot. But I want to mess around with this. Let me see what I can do. So I did get the message the guy from the company with all my questions, and he was able to answer them. So this here, this translates as the Buddha who will surely win in battle. At least that's the translation he gave me. I think it's similar to what also gets often translated as victorious fighting Buddha. So the Buddha who will surely win in battle is such a sick thing. That's such a cool thing to put on the cover of your Wukong figure. Talking to him, he also mentioned that this here also says if after the Journey to the West story. And basically what his idea is, the concept of this action figure is kind of like Black Myth Wukong, where this takes place after Journey to the West. But instead of everything going awry like in Black Myth Wukong, this is if Wukong was able to be the victorious fighting Buddha, and he was just a victorious god who helped when you prayed to him, and he would fight evil and quell evil, and everything was good. So I actually really like that. Another thing that was explained to me is that these are supposed to be two different head sculpts. One's supposed to have basically a crooked mouth and more of a human-esque expression. The other one, I guess more Sun Wukong, more monkey-like. I can kind of see it. I'm not sure it really comes through that well, but I mean, that's the explanation. He also did explain that there was some cost effectiveness in getting multiple head sculpts. So I was right. This is a mirror, and it is this bronze color because that's what color it traditionally would have been. I can't pronounce the actual name of the mirror, but it is the mirror that can see the truth behind any lies or see the true form of a demon, stuff like that. It's used, I think, a couple times in the Journey to the West. But yeah, I was right. This is that mirror. In my conversation with them, they also explained that this blue ribbon basically is there to represent the sky, like in some of the older artworks. I'll show some pictures here. And I think that's really great. They put a lot of thought behind this and having this as a ribbon of the sky for Sun Wukong to have on him is a really, really nice detail. I also really happily get to explain that they chose these bright colors and this time accurate armor because the story takes place in the Tang Dynasty. And the Tang Dynasty is basically medieval China. And in artwork from the Tang Dynasty, they often had really bright colors, as I can show here. And that's why they went for these bright colors. And the armor designs, like something you'll commonly see in Wukong figures, is this triangular pattern. That's a very common design. They put so much thought into this action figure. It's so cool. I actually had a great conversation with one of the creators of the figure, and we went on discussing theory and history and just journey to the West. And it's very clear that he had a passion when making this figure. And it's awesome because that passion really shows in this figure's design. He has been thoroughly messed around with, and I'm loving what I'm seeing. So let's go over some of the articulation. The head can turn quite a bit, and it goes around. It's got good tilt, but the neck also has tilt on it. So you can pull the head all the way to the side or push it to that side. He's got quite a bit of neck sass movement. It's actually really, really nice. But yeah, so he can tilt his head quite a bit if you combine the neck and the head together. These shoulder plates, as you can see, won't get in the way. They're kind of loose there. That's because they're on a Velcro, so you can take them off and put them on, so they won't ever be in your way. They're actually, that's a really nice way to do it. I know one of my other figures has it tied to his arm, which is also pretty nice, but the Velcro is a nice way to do it as well, so it doesn't get in the way. And the collar of the scarf and these tails of the scarf are all wired. The shoulder is what you would expect of a shoulder. I'm pretty sure it's a ball hinge. It goes up that much until this kind of blocks it, and it goes down, and then you can put it around until the soft goods get tangled. And there is a bicep cut there, so you can move it around. So like if I have him here, you can move it that way or that way. The elbow is a double jointed elbow, so fully flexed. It starts running into this forearm guard and the shoulder pad. But if I get some of that out of the way, he can get about that far with the double joint. The biggest downfall is this wrist joint. It is one of those ball hinges where you can't really hinge it in any direction. So no hinge there, no hinge here. You can see it's supposed to hinge in that direction, but it doesn't because his forearm guard blocks it. But you can still swivel it around. And he has multiple hands, so you can choose which hand you want. But yeah, no hinge like at all. For the amount of armor that's going on in this torso area, it's not too bad. So he can lean forward about that much, and he can lean back about that much, which really isn't much at all. But he has this big back piece here that's stopping him. And then from there, you can twist and turn him. He's got good twist and turn. This whole thing is wired, by the way, so you can move this in any direction you want. This cloth skirt here, this yellow one, is also wired on the trim, so you can move that in any direction. The hips are pretty much what you expect from hips. They go up. This one goes up about that far. They go back. Goes back pretty far. And then the knees are double jointed. So the knees, those double jointed knees go back really far. There is also a thigh cut up here, so I can twist and rotate his leg. There's also a boot cut, so I can turn his entire boot in either direction. Now, his ankles aren't as bad as his wrists, but they don't move much. So there's that much movement and that. So the articulation is basically what you would expect from a figure like this. The double jointed elbows are really nice. The double jointed knees are really nice. The lack of the articulation in the wrist is the big killer here. That does nothing. I think it's mostly because of the forearm guard here. It really blocks a lot of that movement. While switching out hands, I discovered that part of the reason his arms, his hands won't move up and down on this hinge joint is because this hinge joint won't move up and down. It seems to be maybe locked or glued in place. And if I apply too much pressure, you can see that that peg, it kind of wants to bend and may possibly snap. So the hands aren't going anywhere, unfortunately. It's all right. It still works pretty nicely without movement there. So let's move on to some poses for him. This is him letting his opponent know that they're next. This is him in the middle of a battle. Still able to hold the stick in great battle poses even without that wrist articulation. If you want your Sun Wukong to look like a flowing piece of medieval Chinese art, this is your figure. Look at this flowing. Look how regal he looks. And I mean, this is what we all want from Sun Wukong, right? Like whether we want the DLC from Black Myth Wukong to have this kind of cape, or if we just want an action figure where he looks like the cutscenes from the game. Like, this is what we want. Now, again, there is no way you're getting too much shape out of this cape, even with the wire going through it. There's just no way you're getting too much shape without a stand holding it. But I think this is a pretty good... There you go. Check that out. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. And if he's like looking that way, oh, he looks so cool. This cape is so cool. No fancy sticks, no fancy capes, just monkeys, 2 fists, victorious fighting Buddha. And when the fighting's all done, he could just take a sip from his gourd, or he can relax. I don't know, you tell me he's the victorious fighting Buddha and then you show me something like this? I don't think many people would want to fight that. Straight into comparisons. Pause if you see one you want to spend more time on. Star Wars Black Series, Jazzwares Fortnite, McFarlane Batman, NECA Predator, Jazzwares Danhausen, a Marvel Legends body. Alright, time for the gauntlet. Monkey King, Monkey King, Monkey King, Monkey King, Monkey King. For those of you not following along fast enough, Monkey King. Possibly the hardest question someone can ask is, should I buy something? What do you want? It's up to you. Here are the positives. Do you want a figure with super bright colors, incredible cape, flowing ribbons, a whole lot of accessories? My favorite things about this figure is the presence he commands. I was like, oh, the bright colors are okay. It's kind of cool. It's kind of different. But the more I play around with him, the more I just absolutely love these bright colors. They just stand out. They give him such an artistic feel. They really just make him look super cool. And very clearly my least favorite things about him are the wrist articulation and the ankle articulation. They don't really do anything. You can work around it and that's fine. I think it's still a great figure without it, but that is a major downfall for some people. So the wrists and the ankles, very bad articulation. So that's what I got for you. One highly ornate, super bright, very well thought out Sun Wukong, the Buddha who will surely win in battle. Until next time, stay safe and have fun.